going on, guys? My name is Anthony Darst, aka Anthony D, coming to you live with another video. This week I want to talk about one of the biggest gangsters I know in the whole world. And that's going to be Apple and Android. Apple and Android. I would say that they are absolute gangsters. Why? Because they got a monopoly, they run the whole world. I'd say that they're probably impacting your life in one way or another. I could be right. I could be wrong. But if they're not impacting one of you guys, I don't know what the you're using. I'm just saying, Apple, Android, you probably got one of them, right? So, with that said, let's get into it. Alright guys, so way back when I was a kid, probably this tall, right? I got my first cell phone and it was a flip. It was an old school flip. Wait. Maybe it wasn't a flip. Maybe it was a little mini brick. 8250? Nokia 8250? Maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. And it was itty bitty and it was tiny and it would fit in this pocket. This one, the little baby one right there. Anyways, that was awesome. I was cooler than everybody in my school. And that wasn't Apple or Android. And then I got, the flip phone, the first color phone, and then I got the bigger brick, and then I got the fucking light up antennas and the all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, I had like a different case for every outfit. And I'd switch it like 3 times a day. Ha! Take that. And all of a sudden the G1 came out way back. That G1, I don't know if you remember, it was the Google phone. And it went whoop. And it slid up. I mean, I had a sidekick too in between at some point, and a D-Link and a Doom, and I could go on for days. But I specifically remember this G1 because it had a weird gear mechanism, and it was awesome. And it was a touch screen, which I didn't like, but it also had the QWERTY keyboard. Banging, right? And then eventually they're like, man, F these keyboards. We're going to go ahead and make everybody do touchscreen. And then they give you the My Touch, and then they give you the My Touch Slide, and then they give you the G2, and then they hit you with something else. And then you got LG, and you got Nokia, and you got Motorola, and you got, I could keep going, right? Now you got Galaxy, and Android, and BlackBerry, and Either way, nowadays, I'll bet you're using either Android or iPhone. And I'll bet you're dedicated and stuck to one. So, have my G1, right? And the coolest thing I remember is the widgets, dude. I could have my weather, and I could have my playlist, and I could have all this right on one screen, and it was cool, And then I get an iPhone, and I lose the fucking widgets? What? So let's talk about why I went iPhone. I went iPhone because I needed something that worked. Actually, I do a lot of music, so I got to be in sync with a lot of the other people. So by me using an iPhone, I'm in touch with my iPad. And by being in touch with my iPad, then I can talk to the computer, and it's all synced, and it's lovely. With Android, man, I remember having all the apps. I remember having the open source where I could access any and everything that any person in the world could release and make you think of. I had access to gazillions and billions of apps. iPhone's like, you know what? You're going to use what we give you, and you're going to like it. But you know what's going to be even better? It's going to work. And sure as hell, it usually does, right? You still got issues with both. As far as Android goes, man, I really miss the open source. I really miss the customizations, and people are going to fight you for that all day. And then I'm like, yo, but my iPhone, it works every time. It works every time. And then you only get one phone to choose through a year, maybe 2 if you're lucky. So, then you got everybody on one side using one thing, which is smart on Apple's behalf, because then you got everybody bitching about the same issues. But Android, you got like a different issue for every app. You got to open it a certain way. You got to do a bunch of different stuff, and it's cool. But if you're one of the tech geeks and you really are stuck on stats, and you want your gigs of RAM, and you want your space, and you want your SD card that you can max out, and you want your good front-facing camera, and your banging back camera, and your autofocus, and whatever. Apple, of course, is going to come up with that shit. They already have, but you're not going to get it for a few years. They're going to keep you on your toes and keep you waiting. And then, if you're an Android user, you got like 85 different smartwatches to choose from now. God. Right? And then the other thing, dude, seriously, Android dropped a waterproof phone like 12 years ago. Give me a waterproof iPhone that doesn't take $100 case. You know what I mean? It's like, come on. Dude, seriously, Mr. Apple, you're obviously on par with what the f is going on with technology. If you could just give me what I want, give me what I want, give me what I want. If you're an Apple user, how many watches you think you get to choose from? One. You know what I'm saying? And it's like Apple's sitting here pretending like they don't have the technology to do a front-facing camera in the iWatch. I'm sorry, Apple Watch. Let's think about this. Apple, if you're gonna go ahead and release one Apple Watch and you're all known for your FaceTime and how perfect it's supposed to work on a daily basis, why wouldn't you give me an Inspector Gadget watch that I could just talk to my friend? Even though I'd probably only use it once, at least I wouldn't be bitching about it. Apple, I'll tell you what, biggest gangsters I know, because they're not gonna release what they want until it works flawlessly and until they're like 2 or 3 years after what you already got with Android. So I mean, it's a give or take, it's a love-hate, and I think they want it to be that way. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they work together. I've used both for hours upon hours and probably days and months worth of my life. You know, and there's good things to say about both of them. Now, personally, I use iPhone, Apple, if you will, Apple. But there are definitely things I miss about Android. And I think it just comes down to the customization for me. I do like that their tech specs are always a little higher on their phones. But Apple, you know, there's something to say when it works every time, when it all works and when it's all seamless and when it's fast and quick and does this and that and whatever. Although your market is like a 1/100th of the size, your options are very limited and you don't get your fucking widgets. But I like them both. You know, it's up to you. And Android, man, what's with all the ice cream names? Nobody does that. Nobody. I don't want to be sitting here on Android Popsicle. You know what I'm saying? Give me something cool like Android Unicorn. Sweet. iPhone, Android, y'all both piss me off. Both of you know what you're doing. Both of you guys are hustlers. And neither of you will give me everything that I want. Give me some Andrapple. Give me a Appdroid. Well, I'm going to just go ahead and make my own. I'm going to call it the Appdroid. Apple. The Andrapple. I'm going to just go ahead and make my own Andrapple. And you know what it'll be? It'll be something with a 8 megapixel front facing camera that runs on gasoline. Guys, go ahead and post below what you use and why. I'm interested to see. I want to know what you do. I want to know what you use it for. So guys, let me know. My name is Anthony Darce, aka Anthony D. See you later.